What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of That Creative Life. I have my friend Lily Hevesh here from Hevesh5, which is a huge Domino channel. So you are a Domino artist. You have 2.3 million subscribers. Congrats.
Thank you.
And you have 715 million total views on your channel. And that's just the main channel, right?
Yes,
So
I have 3 channels.
You have 3 channels. And my first question is, we're going to get into all the things, but why Hevesh5? What does the 5 stand for?
Yeah, so Hevesh is my last name, and there's 5 people in my family. I'm the youngest, so I'm like the 5th Hevesh.
Aw, okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, so how old are you now?
So I'm 20.
And when did the YouTube thing start?
Back in 2008, I started my channel. So I think I was like 9 years old. And then I started posting in 2009 when I was 10, and now I'm still doing it.
What did your parents think when you were a 9-year-old making videos about dominoes?
Well, I don't know, to be honest, they didn't really know that much. Like, they didn't care. They were like, oh, Lily likes dominoes. Like, she's making videos. That's cool. Like, They didn't really mind it. They just bought me dominoes every Christmas, every birthday. And, you know, they were very supportive, which was good.
That's crazy. I started my YouTube channel in 2011, but I was still junior, senior in high school. So I can't imagine having something that you like so much at the age of 9 and just rolling with it and then making a career out of it.
Yeah, that's something I really didn't expect. I mean, I was just doing it for fun as a kid, and I'm still doing it for fun. I love dominoes. And it's kind of crazy that something that I found when I was so young is something that I still enjoy. And
that's rare.
Yeah. But it's awesome because, like, I get to build like these massive domino structures and then knock them down, and now companies want like logos done out of dominoes and even live events with dominoes, and there's so much more to do because it's an emerging art form, and I'm just trying my best to kind of get domino art more out there.
And that's something we'll get to, all of the different things that you do with it. It's not just on your YouTube channel, but recently you were doing something with Jimmy Fallon. You know, there's all these things that you do. You're in a live stream with Katy Perry. I want to ask you about that later. Yeah. But when you started the domino thing, it was, I'm assuming, just like a passion, right? You weren't like, oh, yeah, I'm going to make a job out of this, right?
It was more like I just found dominoes at my grandparents' house. I was like, oh, this is really fun to set up and knock down. And then I went on YouTube, searched dominoes, and I found like hundreds of videos of people building the most elaborate projects. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
At that time, were there big YouTubers dedicated to dominoes?
There were a few domino channels. There was one person in particular who was like the domino guy. His name's Flippy Cat on YouTube. Everyone knows him. But like, there weren't like YouTubers wasn't really a thing back then. Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy because it's such a thing now.
Yeah.
So why are you here in New York City? It's awesome because we got to do a collab. You built a giant peach, so that will be on her channel soon, guys. Check out. But I found it very interesting why you came here. Obviously, do some collabs. But what was the main thing?
So yes, lots of collaborations. Just I knew that there were like a lot of projects that I wanted to do in the city, and people that I wanted to meet for a while, and like going back and forth each time for like one collab didn't make sense. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to take like 5 weeks, stay here for like a long period of time, and also get a feel for what it's like to live in the city. Cause I'm thinking about potentially moving here sometime in the future.
Do it.
Maybe. This is like the test run. I really like it so far.
So you went to a toy convention though,
right? I did, yes.
So what is that?
So the Toy Fair New York City is a convention with like 30,000 people in the toy industry, people who make toys, people who like license, steals, and are inventors, and all these other people like related to the toy industry. So I went there to talk to all these toy companies about potentially using some of their products in my videos as like kind of like a sponsored video, because my audience is very much like kids and, you know, young teens. So incorporating toys like marble tracks and like even speed stacking cups, like things that roll or move, are really cool to incorporate within dominoes. So we were talking to all these toy companies and being like, hey, I have this domino channel.
Slip the business card.
Yeah, the business card. Gave out a lot of those.
Exactly.
And we started having emails afterward.
So you do most of your stuff with your dad, right? Who's your business partner?
Yep.
Which is really cool because I imagine opportunities like this, you know, you have an instant like partner in crime. Let's go kill this toy fair. Let's hand out all the business cards. Let's make the deals. Was that something from the get-go that he kind of saw and was like, let's do this? Or how long did it take to essentially become a business?
Right. So I got my first business inquiry when I was about 13.
Oh, okay.
And it was like this.
That's way sooner than I thought. Yeah.
It was like this Campbell's Soup spec commercial that I did. And like at the time, I didn't really know what to do. Obviously, I was like 13. So my dad came in. He's like responding to the emails. Like we'd work it out, have phone calls with them together. And then it wasn't really until, I don't know, maybe like my senior year of high school that it like really became like a business. We formed a corporation, Hevesh5 Incorporated, and then
sounds legit.
My dad's the business manager. I'm like the creative director, I guess, or I don't really know. I just make videos.
But
yeah,
that's what's so special about it, because I think a lot of people, when it turns into a job, they have to do both things, right? And it becomes very intimidating. So I think it is smart and cool that you get to focus on the creative, right? You're still down there handing out business cards, but at the same time focusing on the creative. I think that's something that people always want to get back to once they get all business driven, right?
Yeah, it's so weird because like you start out all creative and then the business side just kind of creeps up on you, and then you like focus more on that side, and then it's like, okay, I need to like build up this business side enough so I can go back to being more creative and like building out a team, and then you like have this whole company, and it's like, what am I doing? I'm just figuring it out on the spot.
and the fact that you're 20 years old, right? And you're already worrying about, I need to hire employees, right? Being a 20-year-old creator, YouTuber, something that always interests me, and I'm sure people are going to be like, Sarah, stop talking about this, but college.
Yeah.
You went to college.
For 1 year.
For 1 year.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so what was your major? Why did you feel like you had to go to college? And are you still going to college?
No, that's the short answer. So I went to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute last year.
That's a mouthful.
I was studying design, innovation, and society. That's what they call it. It's basically like product design.
That sounds interesting, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, I wanted to go to college. Like, I specifically, like, took a gap year in between high school and college to, like, make a ton of videos so that I could post them while I'm in college, because I knew I wouldn't be able to build there. So I had this like whole backlog of stuff, and then I went to college, and the reason behind going to college was kind of like I just wanted to get the full experience and wanted to learn how to like be on my own, like go to a new place.
Did you stay in the dorms and stuff and have that whole experience?
I had a whole roommate.
How was that?
It was good. My roommate's like my best friend. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, see, you never hear that. I did not like any of my college roommates.
Well, oh, no.
I hope you're not listening. Let's just say I like them better not as roommates.
Okay, fair.
But that's amazing. So you had a good roommate.
Yeah, great roommate.
So it was a good initial start.
It was a very good experience. Like I did really like school. I liked my classes. But literally like in September, I realized like, okay, I'm like passing up all these Domino jobs, like all these opportunities that are coming at me, and I can't make videos. And I started like really missing YouTube. Like I don't know, in my free time, I like really wanted to like make videos, but then obviously with schoolwork, you can't. So I like called my parents and I was like, I think I want to do YouTube.
And they were probably like, duh.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Were they like, we understand, Lily.
My dad was
kind
like,
of crushing it.
My dad was like, Lily, you are not going back to school next year. He was literally like, no, Lily, it's not happening. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's cool dad.
Yeah.
Dad
like,
points.
Business manager. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
That makes sense, right?
He's like totally on board.
You got to support the family, Lily.
Yeah.
You're the breadwinner now, right? Just kidding,
my mom, on the other hand, she was like, she saw it coming. Like she knew that I was like missing all these opportunities, and she was like, you know, Lily, like I would like you to get the 4-year experience, but like I understand like why you need to drop out, why you need to pursue this business that you've created. And she was overall very supportive.
And I will say something so special that I think people envy is when you can find your passion when you're young. I think a lot of people go to college to find what they want to do. And so when you're straight out of high school and you know exactly what you want to do, that's a special gift. And it's so worth pursuing, right? So 2 weeks ago, you had a video titled 75,000 Dominoes Falling to Relax Your Mind. And then in parentheses, oddly satisfying. And that video is so extravagant. It's amazing. I was like going through your entire catalog. 10 minutes of just continuous dominoes falling. And I was watching that. And I know this is a question that you get a lot, but I want to give some perspective to the audience. So that video, it's just all of these, 75,000 dominoes falling. Can you give us perspective on how long a project like that would take?
Boy. Yeah. Well, that video is like 10 different videos combined.
Okay.
But
I was just watching it. I was like,
yeah. Gosh. None of that is new content. That's just
so it was
old
a compilation.
Content. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But each video maybe took like 4 days to make. So times 10 days.
Wow. So yeah, and for the peach that you made, it was probably, would you say like 4 feet high, 3 feet high?
4 feet.
4 feet high?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
3.5. And 3 feet wide. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we used a little over 2,000 dominoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a 5-hour process.
Yeah. It took a while.
And so this takes a while, right?
Yeah.
And so my question with that is, how do you think about titles and thumbnails for YouTube? Because you spend all of this time, you pour your heart and soul into this. You take 6 hours to 4 days for one project. Tell me about like Domino YouTube.
Yeah.
What titles work? What is your thought process behind every video? Because I love the like parentheses, oddly satisfying, because it is.
Yep.
You sit there and you watch these dominoes fall, and it's like, it's relaxing.
It is. Yeah, it's very oddly relaxing. But when I go to title videos, it really depends on what the setup is. So if it's themed around like a certain topic, like for example, I did a Despicable Me Minion video. Usually I'll put that in the title, obviously, and then the number of dominoes that's in the video, because usually if people see a big number, like
They're like,
oh my god,
gotta click
8,000
that.
dominoes, 10,000 dominoes, that's crazy, Despicable Me Minion, click on that.
Yeah.
Or if it's oddly satisfying, of course, I'm gonna try to incorporate that in the title, tags, like description, because I've found that like a lot of my videos are found through suggested from oddly satisfying videos, which is really interesting. Like it's in the category of like slime and like
So I was
cutting
gonna add,
soap.
I was gonna, oh my gosh, that's literally in my notes.
Wait, really?
Slime and
Yeah,
cutting
yeah.
soap. So is that a whole, do people have YouTube channels dedicated to oddly satisfying stuff, or is that almost like a subcategory of all these different types of videos? Obviously there's slime YouTubers. I'm not quite aware of YouTubers who just cut soap. Is that the Slimers?
It is a thing. I don't really watch those videos, but I
Yeah.
know there's channels that just post satisfying videos, and I'm not sure if they're like making their own content or just like taking other people's. It's probably a combination of both. But they tend to work really well on YouTube for some reason.
That's a good question of, because you make a lot of content that doesn't involve your face. Of course, you have your behind the scene channels that we'll talk about in a minute, but your main channel is mainly just the dominoes. Do you encounter people ripping off your videos and getting like hundreds of thousands of views and you not getting credit for it?
Yeah, all the time.
So how do you handle that?
Yeah, so now I'm partnered with a company who actually tracks all the videos, and they'll monetize it and then bring back the money to me, and they get a percentage. So it's good because like, I'm not going to spend hours scouring the internet for all of these videos. Like they have this software that they've developed to find all of them. So
is it an MCN or is it just a completely different
it's
company?
It's called Superbam.
Okay.
They're not an MCN, and you can partner with them for whatever, just for content ID claiming, and it's super nice.
That's good. That's great.
Yep.
Because everyone asks, or I guess everyone who's a little bit older who doesn't understand the cutting soap, slime. You know, for some context, the whole slime thing is literally someone maybe going through the process of making slime, and then they're poking holes in the slime and they're touching it and they're spreading it apart. And it's this very sensory overload experience where you're hearing it. It's very ASMR. And it's very shocking to a lot of people to be like, you watch that? What? But it's one of those things that it'll pop up on your Instagram feed. It'll pop up in your Explorer. And then you just find yourself like watching for 5 minutes. And you're like, what? What did I just watch? And with that, I think it goes beyond YouTube, right? Because people are so into Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Do you then break up your compilations and put like 30-second clips and stuff, and then do you watermark the heck out of it? What's your strategy beyond YouTube?
Yeah, so I watermark all my videos on YouTube, and then I have a social media manager who's making like square Facebook and Instagram and Twitter videos with the watermark more embedded within it, not just like in the corner, but like kind of like on the edge of where the dominoes are, so people can't crop it out.
That's smart.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that because like especially on Instagram, people will rip your stuff like so much, and there's like really nothing you can do about it besides like taking it down, but it's like not worth the process. I don't know.
So, and it's funny because people get annoyed by watermarked stuff, but then at the same time, hey, you spent a day, 2, 3, 4 days on this project. You condensed it down to a 30-second video.
Yep.
Well, heck yes, you want to get the credit.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah. So what do you think? Give a little opinion about what you think about these Instagram accounts, the culture of curation. Curation is a very nice word to describe it, but there's these accounts, F Jerry, the meme accounts. There's accounts, I'm sure, dedicated to oddly satisfying content. What's your take on those accounts?
I mean, it infuriates me, to be honest, that people just take work and re-upload it. Like, it wouldn't be as bad if they at least credited me and tagged me in the description, or like said by Domino art by Hevesh5 or whatever, but most of the time they're not doing it. So it's just like they just literally stole my video.
Right. How often do you post to Instagram? Because you have 2.3 million subscribers on YouTube. Is there kind of like a desire to be to have a plan? Okay, Instagram's next. Or what do you see as the platform? Maybe Facebook, because it is very prone for spreading kind of like viral stuff.
Yeah.
Is there one social media that sticks out to you this has to be my focus next?
Yeah, so I've been focusing, besides YouTube, more on Facebook actually, because I have about 850,000 follows on that. So that's my second highest social media. And it's also monetized. I'm in this like new program that they have.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, it's called Facebook Launchpad. And basically, if you have videos that are over 3 minutes, you can get ad breaks, and then it'll monetize. It's basically the same as YouTube, where like they take a percentage and then you keep the rest. But as long as it's like, of course, like family friendly or whatever, you're probably fine to post it. It's pretty straightforward, but it's still new to Facebook, and trying it out.
Is it on par with AdSense, or is it lower, higher?
To be honest, like sometimes it can be way more than YouTube. Like,
really?
You know how Facebook videos, like the views are inflated? Yeah, crazy inflated. So if
does that translate with money?
If you literally get one viral video on Facebook, like you're golden. Like it's way more than YouTube.
Because every person I talked to, I had a meeting with like Twitter, and a Facebook guy was there, and he was a creator, and he was asking me what I did, and he was saying, Sara, iPhone stuff, tech stuff, there is random videos that go viral about that all the time, and people are not searching, but they're kind of hungry for that tech stuff. You could very easily just upload and then get on this Facebook thing and then just reap the rewards of a video you already made on YouTube. So it's very interesting to hear that you're on there, because I haven't even looked into it, because there's a process, right? So you have to get a certain number of views, or like within a month. So yeah, you have to apply, but then like within a month you have to upload a certain amount of like over 3-minute videos and then a certain number of views. I don't know. There's a lot of check marks. The last time I looked at it, but I'm sure you pass those check marks very fast with the type of stuff that you have. With Facebook, how did that initial following begin? 800,000 likes. That's huge.
Yeah, so my Facebook page, like back in the day, kind of like
so it's been
steadied out at
had it for a while.
25,000.
Okay.
And then what made it blow up was I had a viral video back in 2016 on YouTube. It was called The Amazing Triple Spiral, and it got like 3 million views in 2 days. Like it was shared all over, like on the front page of Reddit, and then a bunch of Facebook pages started sharing the video, and then that led back to me on my Facebook page, and then people would just keep reposting it, and it blew up my Facebook page. And then later on, it's so weird. Like when I first started in the Facebook Launchpad program, like literally my second video that I posted was viral, like completely went viral. I don't know if it's because I joined the program or not, or it was like...
I imagine that Facebook is very hungry for original creators because they're probably looking at their platform and being like, what happened? You know?
Yeah. And it literally just took like a couple of viral videos to really blow it up. And then from there, it's just posting consistently, like putting your YouTube link in the top comments so people can go back to YouTube. And then
so you're not putting the YouTube link in the main description or in the comment, because
in the top comment.
I imagine Facebook is like other social medias. The moment you put a link to an external site in the description, they're like, nope, we're not going to recommend this video.
Yeah.
Is that true to Facebook?
Yep. It lowers the reach if you put the YouTube link in the Facebook description.
Interesting. When you were at 25,000 likes on your Facebook page, I'm asking a lot of questions about this because I'm curious. Facebook is the one social media I really don't pay attention to, but I'm curious about it. What were you consistently getting views wise? Because I feel like a lot of people can be discouraged with, I'm only getting 500 views per video, but I guess it only takes that one viral video to make a difference, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think back then I was maybe getting like 1,000 views per video, but even now the algorithm keeps changing on Facebook. Like I have almost 900,000 followers, yet my videos now on Facebook will maybe get like 10,000. Like it really, really depends. It really varies. Like it can blow up or it could just be a fluke.
So really with Facebook, it's volume, and then you just cross your fingers that one every 5 or 6 videos kind of hits it.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. I've been trying to figure that out. But like, I think what's really important with Facebook is making an intriguing thumbnail or like first 3 seconds of your video.
So thumbnail matters on Facebook.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the first 3 seconds, because people have autoplay on and they need to see like motion and lots of colors and like, oh my God, this is a character in Domino's.
Right.
And then also having really good meme text on the top and bottom and a good description that matches that.
So the meme format, that's what works on the Facebook.
Definitely meme format. Like once I started doing memes instead of just normal square videos, like I noticed a huge increase in views.
Wow.
Just from doing meme text.
So guys, do the memes. That's always the answer, right? Just make your content more memey. Oh man. So you have some insane videos that have insane views. When I was looking at your most viewed, so there was a video over, so I guess 5 years ago. It has 122 million views.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane.
I can't even.
Was that one of your first viral videos?
Yeah,
or
that was my very first one.
That was your very first one. When you were watching that go up, was that the one that started 3 million in 2 days?
No, that was the second one.
Okay. So when you started watching that, what was that like? But also, what was it 10 million in the first 2 days, or was it 122 over the span of a year? Like, and what
it was
going through your
super quick.
Really?
Like I think on the first or second day, it went completely viral. Also on the front page of Reddit. Also, I think it was around 3 million views in 2 days as well. And I remember like when it went viral, I'd be refreshing the page like every second and there would be 5,000 more views. Like literally every time you refresh the page, I was shaking. I was like, what is going on? This is crazy. Like I can't even like comprehend this.
Wow.
But it just blew up my channel. I had like 25,000 subscribers, and then within a couple of weeks I was like way over 200,000.
Wow. That is insane. So when did you hit your first 1,000,000 subscribers?
I believe that was, what year is it? 2019?
It is 2019.
I think it was the end of beginning of 2017.
Oh, so it was kind of recently.
Yeah.
See, I love that because you've been doing Domino's for over 10 years, and just in the past 2 to 3 years is when it really, really took off. And I think that's a testament to keep on doing your thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Long term.
Keep at it. Think about long term. And especially if you're young and you're kind of finding a flow with something, keep at it. You know, because that's when you have time. That's when you have time you have a roof over your head, hopefully, and food on the table. You don't have to worry about insurance or being an adult. And so when did it become your basically full-time job? When was it? Like,
yeah,
2016, 2015?
2016 probably, like my senior year of high school, because that's when I took my gap year and I was actually doing YouTube and Domino art full-time. And then I like started like really getting serious with it, like getting a whole schedule, starting to post consistently every week.
Would you say that changed kind of the trajectory when you started doing things consistently? Do you think that has a big part in YouTube?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps a lot, just because viewers know exactly when to expect a video. And like I know that most of my viewers watch on Saturdays just because like kids are out of school, people aren't working, you know, people have time to watch Domino videos. So I set it to Saturday at 1 o'clock every single Saturday of video.
So people know.
And people tune in. And
that's so funny. You truly have to go into those analytics, see what works for you, because with my audience, and you have to see what the ages are, Saturday is the worst day for me to post for some reason.
Interesting.
Absolutely
When's
worst.
the best day for you?
Friday and Saturdays are the worst, and it's like weekdays after school and work are what work for some reason.
Interesting.
I guess Friday and Saturdays, my people are like, oh, it's time to go have a life, right? So
yeah.
like, I'm not going to watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, you have an older audience though. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. It's probably 20 to 35, I would say, is the main demo. What's yours?
Like 6 to 17.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why it was so smart to, go to toy conventions, go to these places where the brands are who care about that demographic. Because I think a lot of people don't pay attention to analytics, and what's really, it's almost scary because you just want to, not scary, what's the right word? It's not as easy to look at your art as a hard science where there's trends and there's actual numbers that you pay attention to. But if you just look at it, right, it's worth it. Do you look at your analytics a lot, or are you kind of just at this point, you kind of know what works and you go for it?
I do check them. Yeah, I keep tabs. Like if something looks interesting, I'll like dig into it more. But I do think it's important to like just check in every once in a while, see what's going on, see if things are changing. But don't get like too caught up in the numbers, like constantly checking it every single day.
Let's talk about numbers, because with Facebook, YouTube can also be very, very good or very, very bad, and you think your career is over with one video, right? You'll be doing great, everything's great, and then, oh my gosh, I got literally a fourth, a fifth, a sixth amount of the views that I normally do. And when I was looking at your channel, it's so interesting because very recently you have a ton of views on a lot of videos, and then you'll have one video that I instantly clicked on. I was like, Jimmy Fallon, what? But then that's the one with like 50,000 views. Yeah. And in my brain, I'm going, what?
That confuses me too.
Right?
Because it's like Jimmy Fallon.
Exactly.
But I think, and it's a longer video too, which makes no sense because YouTube loves long videos. Right. But I think it's because it's more of a personality driven behind the scenes video rather than just strict dominoes falling. because most people watch Hevesh5 just to watch dominoes falling. They don't really care about me in a way, which is like, oh, come on. But like,
Come on, guys.
I'm like trying to put more personality into my videos
Yeah.
and show like there's a person behind it. But like, I mean, I started my YouTube channel completely anonymous. So I didn't talk, didn't do anything, didn't speak. And then 6.5 years later, I posted a whole like draw my life video where at the end I revealed myself.
What were the reactions?
Yeah, so people were like, oh my God, Hevesh5 is a girl, what? They all assumed that I was a guy or like some middle-aged Indian man for some reason, because Hevesh maybe sounds Indian. I don't really know.
Interesting. And you're like, what's up, guys?
Yeah,
I'm like
hey.
a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, hello. But it was such a good like reveal, because now I feel like I can really connect with my audience more and talk to them, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and also like make other types of videos. Like if I can't talk, it's much harder to make a tutorial or just branch out and do like more short films and things like that. But I kind of set this precedent of strictly domino videos in the first 6.5 years when I was anonymous, and now people still kind of expect that, even though I've shown my face for a long time since. But that's just kind of what works.
So how do you manage balancing what you want to do, what you like to do, but then what your audience expects from you? Has your audience grown up with you, or has it been one of those things that they do just expect one thing, and how do you handle that?
You know, I'm still somewhat trying to figure that out myself. I know that a lot of people, they get into dominoes, or like they'll be like, oh my God, these domino videos are so cool, but then in like 5 years they'll be like not interested. So like balancing the types of videos that I make, recently I've been doing a lot of like collaborations, which is not like fully like my video, which is okay. I still really enjoy them. And I'm also doing projects for companies and like a couple of sponsored videos. So my personal videos have kind of taken a backseat in a little way, but I also have like 30 videos in the can ready to go, which are like personal projects. Is
crazy to me, because I'm a type of person who will be filming and editing a video up until the point I post it. So I would love to get ahead soon.
Yep.
But it's just kind of been me. Are you the type of person at school who does their homework like 3 days before it's due? Has that just always been you?
Not or 3 days before, but I'll always get it done before the due date.
Okay.
Like I'm always very on schedule.
You're a productive, amazing human being. Congratulations on that. Because my entire life, I feel like I've been striving to like get ahead, and it's just, you know, I've accepted it's just me, I guess. How does that work into your YouTube workflow? Are you always ahead? Like, do people get bummed when something was filmed 3 months ago? Because I feel like with tech, there's always this expectation of doing what's the greatest and latest. So maybe that's an advantage that you have, where you can back catalog.
Yeah, I think you have to really think about the type of content that you create. Like with tech, it's much easier and better probably for you to post in real time as things are coming out. But for dominoes, I've realized my videos are very evergreen. Like a video that I made 5 years ago can still be relevant today, because it's just dominoes falling. And because of that, I'm able to get ahead and post things that aren't really in real time, which is good, because like then I can kind of like relax a little bit in case there's like an event that I need to go to or something. But the downside to that is I'll be editing videos from literally like 6 months ago to a year ago, and like I lose the energy and steam of making that video because it was so long ago, and then I'm like, I really have to edit this.
It's more for you too. There's a different type of feeling when you're editing something that was, I guess, so long ago. What do you mean by evergreen content? Because I think that's a very important thing for people to understand.
Yeah. So evergreen content is content that you post you post now and it's still relevant in the future. So like if you're daily vlogging, for example, that's not evergreen content. It's like you watch it that week, and then the next video is
done
like,
forever.
Yeah, it's done for. Like you have that window of time, and then it's like not really as relevant unless you watch an entire vlog series. But I mean, with domino videos, it's like you post a video, it's still a domino video. There's no time really related to it.
Which is, I think, amazing that that's worked into your content, because I know a lot of people, I don't want to just keep going back to myself, but with tech, with current events, with news, I think it is really important to set aside some of your time to produce evergreen stuff if it's just topical, because topical gets the clicks, it gets attention, but then if someone new comes to your channel and wants something more to watch, they're not going to watch you responding to news a week ago, because that's not intriguing, right?
Yep.
Old news. I think there's so much to think about with who your audience is, what's the type of stuff that you create, how can you diversify what you're making, mixing in evergreen and topical and all of that. And I think a lot of people think it's just kind of making stuff, throwing it to the wall, hoping it sticks, but there's so much behind the scenes, right? And so something I found interesting with your videos is there's a certain techniques to dominoes. And I wasn't aware of this when I was watching your behind the scenes. You're like, oh, this is the wall technique. So dominoes, there's strategy behind it. And it matters how you do it. And it matters what types of dominoes they are. How did you initially learn this? Were you a person who went on YouTube and just searched on YouTube, like, how do I do dominoes? Or like, what is this technique? And like, how many techniques are there? Is it as complex as I think it is?
There's like a whole domino world and like domino vocabulary that we use. It's like, I don't know, if you build dominoes, like it's probably from watching YouTube videos. Like when I first started, I would just search videos and then literally like pause the video, like screenshot it, zoom in, like try to figure out exactly how people built it, because there weren't really a lot of tutorials back in the day. You kind of just had to figure it out, which I think helped me really understand how dominoes fall and how they work on different surfaces and different tricks. But yeah, it's mainly just experimenting for yourself.
Do you have domino like buddies?
Yeah.
Like, do you like get together and domino together?
Yeah. There's a whole community. Sometimes we have events every year where like 20 people will get together and we build like 200,000 dominoes in a huge gym. And then we'll have a live event, knock it down, and it's like a whole thing.
Well, a big question I have, what is the biggest disaster? What is the biggest domino project you've ever built and accidentally knocked it down?
Yeah. Okay. So there's this one time I was building the second largest domino tower in America, and I was live streaming it, keep in mind. And I was like probably like 11 layers from finishing. Like I was so close, and I placed like one of the dominoes on top. I pull my hand back, and all of a sudden I see it just slowly start tipping all the way down to the ground, and I'm just watching it. People are watching me watch it on the live stream, and yeah, it fell. But I made a really good fail video, so it's okay.
That's good. And maybe sometimes the fails, I'm sure they do very well. Might even do more well than
sometimes better.
Yeah, yep. Sometimes better, right? I mean, that's the thing with these drama YouTube channels is it's like almost when more bad stuff happens, it's like it equates to more views. But that's just how things go sometimes. So you have the domino buddies. Obviously, your family is super supportive. You're in a process of expanding, right? I mean, are you ready to like hire people, get more content out? Is that exciting? Is that scary for you?
Yeah, I'm very excited, but also scary because like I really have no idea what I'm doing. Like never been to business school, haven't taken a business class. Like I'm just figuring it out on the spot. But currently my team is my dad, who's my business manager, a social media manager doing like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter videos. I just hired my friend who's the new H5 Domino community manager. That's my second channel dedicated for the inner domino community for people who build dominoes and want more like in-depth stuff about that. So he's been doing like emails and like gathering videos from the community to post on it, really trying to spread more awareness about dominoes. And then who else?
That's impressive just in itself.
That's like those are the main people.
So are you hiring people full time, or is it one of those things that you start with part time? You know, you do the part time thing. Okay,
yep.
So starting
I also
with
have
that,
an editor too who's helping with rough cuts. I want to train him to do final cuts, but
Yeah.
it'll take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. The editing thing is hard to delegate, especially when it's so close to you. You've done the entire process yourself, and teaching that to someone
Yeah,
is terrifying,
It
right?
is. You have to write down every single thing that you do and then just communicate that with them, do revisions, and that's a whole process.
And I heard you mention Upwork. Did you find your person on Upwork?
Yeah, that's how I found my editor.
So for the people who don't know, Upwork is similar to maybe a Fiverr. It's a website where you can hire people from around the world to do anything from super menial tasks to creative tasks. And I think that it really exploded with Tim Ferriss's recent book. Not recent book. He made it so long ago. The 4-Hour Work Week, where he talked about virtual assistants. Do you know who Tim Ferriss is?
I don't.
So he basically put out this book basically saying, okay, only work 4 hours a week and offload everything to virtual assistants and offload everything to people that you hire from these websites like Upwork. And I think it's very hard to start the trust, but have you found that it's been worth it? I'm sure it's been a journey, but
Yeah, it's definitely been worth it just because I'm able to put out more content and do more things that I've always wanted to do but just didn't have time for. However, there is definitely a trade-off. Like, you have to get rid of some of your creative control. You gotta be like, okay, it's fine. It's not gonna be perfect, and that's okay. But really, like, I feel like in some ways people are just so attached to their art that they can't give up some of that control. But the only way to really grow is to let that go. And chances are, like, those little nitty-gritty details that you see, like, nobody else is going to see.
Those are wise words, Lily. It's something that I continually need to hear. But also something that's even crazier is when you kind of let go of, you know, what you think is perfect, and then you probably can figure out people out there who actually might be able to do things better than you.
That is the dream scenario.
Right?
Yes.
That's the dream scenario.
Yep.
And you never know if that can happen until you let go.
That's true. You just got to try.
Yep.
And even if it doesn't work out, like, hey, you learned how to work with other people, you know the hiring process, you're becoming a better manager, and it's all better for the future.
Those are some wise words, Lily. Okay, let's see if I have any more questions for you. Okay, here we go. Branding. I think you're very good with branding. I don't know if that's intentional.
Oh, thank you.
But when you were starting out, did you see Hevesh5 as, okay, I want this name to be synonymous with Domino's? Because it's a lot of your video titles, you know, you'll put Hevesh5 in them. You'll put
Only some of them.
Yeah. Is that a way to kind of resonate your brand with, if you see a Domino compilation video, you know that Hevesh5, that's going to be the best one, right? Is that something that you think about?
So I didn't really think about branding too much, to be honest, when I first started the channel. Like, it was just Hevesh5. Didn't even like make it for Domino's originally, but it just turned into that. But I have an intro that plays before every video that just shows Hevesh5 in Domino's, so people can recognize, like, oh, it's a Hevesh5 video. Like, they recognize the sound even. But I think it's now I think about branding a little bit more. Like, I'm trying to put my H5 logo in more places. Like, I have H5 merch that people can buy, and then I don't know. It's definitely important, but I feel like for me, the Domino's itself, in a way, are more important.
Yeah, love it. And it's also you kind of niching down. I think people think that they have to go broad and have to do everything. Maybe if someone wanted to start a channel like this today, they would probably go to, okay, well, I got to cut soap, I got to do ASMR, I got to do Domino's, I got to do all these things. But I think there's a real advantage in niching down and doing what you enjoy and what you're good at. Because I think people notice that you're like a freaking Domino amazing person. Can't find a good adjective or noun for that. Would you call yourself a
Domino artist?
Domino artist. You're an amazing Domino artist. And I think that's very apparent to people.
Thank you.
Last question. How was it being on Katy Perry's live stream?
Ooh, yeah.
Because you've gotten to do a lot of cool collaborations, right? But you were, when she was launching her new album, she had this 24 hour.
It was like a 4-day live stream. Like
4-day
straight live stream. They like live streamed as she was sleeping. But basically, one of the producers found my YouTube channel and then reached out and was like, hey, Katie's doing this live stream and we're looking for artists to come in and, you know, build this artwork as she's sleeping. Because, like, you know, nobody wants to watch her sleep on a live stream. So they had these artists come in, build this thing. And I was one of the artists. So I stayed up from like 11 p.m. to 10 a.m. building this Domino setup overnight for Katie. And they like built this whole set to make it seem like it was her house, but with like hidden cameras everywhere. And then in the morning, Katie came in, she saw the setup, she was like so surprised by it. And then we had this whole like, we just like had a little chat,
so
talking about dominoes.
You're BFFs with Katie, right?
Not BFFs, but like we know each other. She was very nice. Like,
that's so cool.
Yeah, she really loved the setup. And she like was genuinely like interested in like my story and like talking about my family and not just like, oh my God, you're like a YouTuber. It was like she got to know me, which was really nice.
That's amazing. What's your favorite outside of Katie? What's your favorite collaboration that you've done with maybe another YouTuber? You just hung out with Casey at 368, or maybe someone traditionally who, you know, is in the public eye, like the Jimmy Fallon collab. What's something that sticks out?
So one of my favorites is I worked with Will Smith for one of his movies, Collateral Beauty. And in that movie, get this, Will Smith is a domino artist. He is the character. He like does what I do.
Are you serious?
No, but yeah.
So you basically have a movie made after you.
I guess.
I mean, that's pretty cool because it's a very unique field.
I know.
So did you teach him?
Yeah, so I was there on set for 2 weeks building these massive domino structures on this set. And I taught Will a little bit about how to build, like how to place the dominoes and then how to knock them down. And like we did a bunch of takes. We even glued dominoes to make as props so they can like wheel it in and out. So we didn't have to rebuild it. But it was an amazing experience. And Will's so nice, like very genuine, super funny. And it was great to be there.
What do you think of him essentially being a YouTuber now?
Yeah, I mean, people have mixed feelings about this. I think it's good that he's like trying to show more of like who he is beyond the screen. I appreciate that he's like interacting more with his audience and like creating content that's like more, I don't know, somewhat more relatable, I guess, even though there's like a whole team behind it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's like celebrities going to YouTube, but
it's almost like, guys, get away, this is ours. But then at the same time, they're bringing new people to the platform, which is exciting. Mm-hmm. And I think the people who are succeeding, people like Will Smith, they're adopting the style, right? Yeah. You can't come to YouTube and just post full-length movies.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so he's making these short and sweet videos, which are clearly working for him. So I think it's cool what he's doing, but there's always a sense of, this is ours. Get away, outside world, right?
YouTube's definitely becoming more mainstream.
Yeah. Which is great, but it can also be lame. But it's an exciting future.
It is.
You know, and I'm glad that we got in at the point we got in, because it's I think it's getting harder and harder. But I think there's so many things to learn from people like you now, for the people who want to do it. So thank you so much for giving so many insights, sharing your story, Lily.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
it was a blast.
It was so fun. And that Creative Life fam, hopefully, you know, this was the first podcast recorded at my new office, and I'm starting to be like, wow, maybe I just need to rent a podcasting tiny little office at a very tall building so I don't have to worry about any noise, because I don't know how noisy that was.
What about 368?
Oh, it's so noisy in there too. They have heater clank things.
The podcast station?
It might be better in the when it's not the winter, but they have the same heater clanking that my old office had. Okay. So New York is hard.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where when something is fully audio, you almost have to either get out of the city or just go up where it's really quiet. Because these old buildings with the wood, it's just but anyways, hopefully the audio was okay, guys. We're also working on getting it more level. I listen to the people. They're like, hey, Sarah, audio's a little loud and a little soft sometimes.
You really notice that?
We're striving for perfection, but we will never get there. So give us grace. Lily, thank you so much for being on. Where can people find you? Hevesh5 everywhere.
HEVESH5.
Amazing. Everything will be linked in the show notes. Remember, guys, new podcasts on Mondays. Maybe not every single Monday, but maybe. It's a terrible outro. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Lily, thanks for being on.
Thank you so much.
Check out the show notes below. And guys, leave a review on Apple Podcast. And then you can listen wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or thatcreative.life. That's the website.
Thanks. Check out our collab that we did.
And check out our collab.
The
I will link it in the description
Domino's
below as well. That was fun.
Yes,
that was a lot of
blast.
fun. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.